Hi again. One little job this morning that I have is to send off a package to a friend that I haven't seen in decades. She's a college friend. And she decided she would like to have some bee balm and some shampoo and a shampoo bar. So what I have to do with this bee balm is I have to put saran wrap inside and then tape the where the lid and the jar attach, and then I put it into a Ziploc bag so that if it does get gloopy or soft, it'll stay contained. I think it'll be fine. We are into slightly cooler weather, and she does live north of me. And then the shampoo bar is going to come with one of those little loofahs. And then there's a little bit more room left in here, so I thought I would send her one of my little cards. This is some poppies I painted one time a while back. Anyway, so she's going to get a little card, and I thought I would do kind of a Beatrix Potter thing. My friend has not been feeling well, so instead of just rambling on about our own trials or whatever, I decided to tell her a story about one of my hens and the baby chicks. And so that's part of what's in this card is a little chicken story. So I'll put that in there. And then because she's not feeling well, I thought I would make her something else. And I don't even know what I would call this. It's just a little line of beads. And I don't make jewelry. I don't. I've never ever made jewelry. So it doesn't look very good. This is a long piece and a long piece with something on the top and something on the bottom and a little joint in the middle that's a little wonky. I wanted her to think of this as kind of like a prayer bead chain so that when she touches it or sees it or whatever, she'll remember she's prayed for and loved. But the reason I was able to do that is because another friend gave me, let me show you, gave me these 3 boxes and another 3 boxes of jewelry making stuff, beads and little metal attachments. What do they have a name for it? Anyway, it's all the little jewelry hardware you need. And so I thought, well, it's all sitting there. I might make something for my friend. And this kind of looked like the kind of stuff she would like. I don't know, nice colors, a little pop of red there at the bottom. So that's going to go into the mail today. You can go down to the post office and send that off. So I do ship this kind of thing if you're just desperate and don't feel like you can make your own, then I can certainly do that. All right, so I thought I'd show you that little bit of makings, and we'll talk to you later. Back again this morning doing a little bit of necessary work with something that Adam recently bought me. He bought me a stamp. He bought me a stamp that I can put my name on my watercolor cards that I paint. But I have, because of COVID, I haven't been to the farmer's market, and so I haven't been selling many cards, but I've still been painting, of course. You crafters out there know how this is, and so you end up getting piles and piles of stuff, and I have lots of cards, and none of them were stamped, and I want them to be stamped. And so I'm going back and taking my cards, like this is the next one I'm going to do, and it's in a plastic sleeve. So on each card I have to open the plastic sleeve, take out the card, turn it over on the back, and stamp here. So I'll let you watch me do a little bit of this. It's not very fun. I'll speed up the camera, the video for while I do this. Hello, I thought I'd introduce you to my Advent calendar that I'm making for my grandchildren. And we'll take a far off look, and then we'll take a close-up look. This is a piece of woven fabric that I made myself on my loom. And actually you can see my loom right there. It's on its side. It's just a table loom that rests on the edge of the table and in your lap. And then here is this piece of fabric, and if I go up, you can see that it hangs on a dowel, and I haven't really, I need to trim that and put little knobs on the end and make it look pretty. Then it has a little empty stable at the top, and what did I do? I knitted those 3 panels, a triangle and 2 thin rectangles, and attached them permanently to the fabric. And then as we come down, you see that I made pockets for, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, wait, 5. There's 25, 5 by 5, 5 pockets across and 5 rows down. And I made that by folding up the fabric. It was a much longer piece of fabric, and I folded it up in order to make the pockets. And I've done, over half of the pieces in there. Oh, and it has some fringe at the bottom, as you see, okay? And it's a nice Christmas color. Now I'm going to put it on the desk and we'll look at the individual pieces. Okay, now the first piece way up here in the corner is a palm tree. And this is an I-cord that I did down here, a nice thick one. And these are all just curly pieces. And I think that if you attached it there, it would look like a palm tree more than it does when the bottom kind of sits up. You have to fold this to put it in the top pocket. And I've forgotten what some of these are. Oh, here's the star. That turned out rather well, I thought. It's in yellow. This was some of my earliest attempt at, I don't know if you could call that felting, but it's a close proximity to a sheep with a little tail and a head and little skinny legs. And then we have another and another. This one has blue legs. The thing about making things for children is that you can do outrageous things that are outside of the realm of reality, and children just accept it and love it. And here's the 4th sheep. So I've got 4 sheep. To be perfectly honest, I've had difficulty filling up the 25 items that I need that are in the Christmas nativity, because this is definitely a Christian nativity. And here's one of the shepherds. I really liked how he turned out. He's got on his hood. There's his little crook. I cut the crook out of some of that felt fabric you can buy. You can get it at Walmart. That's very useful stuff to have around. This yarn is like a sock weight. It's rather thin. So I'll probably do a couple more shepherds. So, there's at least one more shepherd spot. Okay. And then I've got, these turned out well. I did these a while back. 1 angel. 2 angel. See, I'm leaving a spot for that shepherd. And 3 angel. And I do want to try to keep them in an order where the nativity scene itself, the story will kind of play out as the child attaches them. So I've got 3 angels, which is probably plenty. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I forget what I was going to put there. I've got a piece of paper somewhere. Now this is a silly, I don't know about this. Can you guess what that's supposed to be? It has a little tail, 4 legs. It's supposed to be a hump, although it looks like it's pregnant. This is supposed to be a camel. Good old camel that the wise men came on. I've got sheep. Maybe I should do some goats or something. And here are the 3 gifts in sparkly fabric. There's ruby and gold and silver. So the 3 gifts are all together, the gifts of the Magi. All right, now here's our 3 Magi. They're kind of crazy looking. Here's 1. Here's 2. I love the turbans. This one's really wacky looking. Matter of fact, I'm not quite sure what I did with his head. Is that the back? Oh, there's the front. Okay, there he is. There's his eye. I had to put eyes on him so you could tell what he was. He's got crazy looking hair. He's probably the wisest of them all. Actually, that must be his headpiece. So there's the wise men. This one actually does have eyes. Can you see him there? Yeah, and of course this one's obvious. Okay, so there's the 3 wise men. So this whole row is full. This row is mostly empty. I think that I wanted to have the innkeeper here, I think. I'm not quite sure. Okay, so here's Joseph and Mary. I did Mary early. She turned out really well. And there's Joseph. I did go through a period where I knitted little dolls and I made little, I'll share that with you another time, little doll beds that I crocheted. I had to get away from crocheting because it hurt my thumbs. Some of you know the pain that you can get in your thumbs down here if you do too much handwork. And then I've got 3 empty spots. Boom, boom, boom. Of course, one will be the manger. I might even have one be the straw in the manger, and then the last one be the baby Jesus, of course. He comes last. So that means I've got 1 more shepherd here, and then I'll have probably some more animals here, maybe a couple more animals and the innkeeper. I could even have an innkeeper's wife. To be honest, I'm kind of tired of making people. They're not hard to make. I used size 2 knitting needles and try to get some fairly thin thread. Simply Soft works well, and sock yarn works well. Anyway, this is a nice interactive type of thing. Nothing on this is breakable. This is not, this is for my grandchildren. It's going to hang on the wall so it doesn't take up much space. And it's very visual, and they can enjoy the pieces before they put them on. The big question is, how do I want them to attach those pieces to this? If I use Velcro, I'm liable to really damage this weave. And although it is supposed to be interactive, I don't want it to look like a hairy mess after a few years. So I'm thinking about having 25 assorted, dear me, snaps, little snaps, and have a snap on the back of the piece and a snap here. And that way the child can know where to put them. Although if you had, I don't know, Bobo's barking, who knows at what. So I'm still pondering that, and this is the 3rd year I've been working on this. I started this before my grandson was ever born. So if you have any cool ideas about what I should do, oh, I see some mistakes. See, when you weave, you make mistakes like that one right there. There's another one right there where I didn't quite get my yarn where it was supposed to go. This is almost a little bit like, it looks almost like a houndstooth pattern in some of this yellow. Anyway, so that's something else that's just hanging in my studio, waiting to be finished by this Christmas. And then I need to take it with me wherever my grandson is. If he comes here or we go there, then I'll take it with me. All right, thanks so much. And if you have any ideas about this piece, please leave me a message, a comment in the bottom and let me know your thoughts. Thanks so much. Hello, it's good to see you again. It's a overcast morning out there. Been rainy, sun's not shining. It's my favorite kind of weather, actually. I like a day like this. I like to stay inside when it's kind of snuggly. I wish it were a little colder. This morning, instead of coffee, I'm kind of tired of coffee after a while. I've been drinking some really nice coffee in the mornings for about 6 months, 8 months. And now I think I'm going back to tea for a while. This is one of my teapots. I have several teapots, not a huge collection. This is some black tea. This is Darjeeling. Darjeeling is my favorite. Here's my pot. And this is a little cozy that I crocheted years ago. It's very simple. I think I started with the bottom and crocheted the circle and then went up one side and then went back and did the other matching side with increasing and decreasing, which is really easy to do in crochet. And then at the top, I left 2 little loops where you cast off, or whatever they call it, here, and then re-engage your crochet at the top. Anyway, it's a really perfect little cozy because it opens at the top so you can stir your tea if you want to. It attaches it at the top securely, but it leaves the spout and the handle free. It's not the kind of cozy you can lift off of your pot, but it's okay. Anyway, enough about a tea cozy. Here's my new favorite mug. It's a huge mug. It's actually about the same size as this pot. Anyway, it was nice to have tea. I sometimes have friends who ask me, is there anything you don't do? Because it looks like I can do everything because I do a lot of creative things and I do love creative activities. But there are many things that I don't do at all because I'm no good at them. I don't do any kind of athletics or sports. I don't like hefty creative things where you work with concrete or big power tools or building things. I'm terrible at housework. I do a very indifferent job at housework. I hardly cook anymore because my husband loves to cook. The first creative thing I really got involved with, though, was writing. I don't know where I found this. It must have been buried in the papers somewhere. This is the first little book of poetry I ever wrote. To say, my book of poems, the creative activity I did for most of my life and probably did best was music. I did a lot of music, a lot of singing, and a lot of playing the piano. And so I thought, this morning I thought I would just end with a little piece that I'm practicing for the prelude at church on Sunday. And it's "'Tis the Gift to be Simple," a lovely little song. So I hope you enjoyed that.